Once again, it's on. Like I said, it's Steve and Laura time all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, a pondering of a thought. Like, what would they look like, once they got married and they, what I'm saying? Would they be living that today? You know what I'm saying? Did Steve get all the kids out of Laura? You know, you know what I'm saying? All that good old stuff. Let's go.
Guess what? I just got a job.
Go ahead, Laura. Go ahead, Laura. Baby Laura.
I'm going to be a part-time waitress at Leroy's. I get minimum wage plus tips. We're talking new clothes. We're talking concert tickets.
Yeah.
I want money.
That's all right.
I want a pie in the sky.
Come on.
I want to be rich.
Okay, but for real, Laura was dancing a little bit like Steve right there. She was dancing a little bit like Steve. But, looking at Laura, you see Laura dancing already because she got a job. She only like 14. You know what I'm saying? But she want that pay. Very important. Work ethic.
You are only 14 years old. You're too young to have a job.
No, I'm not.
No, she
You have school, work, and chores around the house.
Mom, listen, just let me work at Leroy's for 1 month. If my grades slip or if I don't pull my weight around here, I'll quit. Deal?
1 month.
Yes! Oh, Mom, will you sign my work for me?
And what's so awesome about this too, we have to remember, what did Lord just say? Look, if my grades slip, we know none of that actually happens. Her grades don't slip or anything like that. So she on her hustle game strong. I keep trying to tell you that.
You need a work permit.
I'm too young to have a job.
Yeah, go straight.
You?
Yeah.
You working at Leroy's?
I knew you'd be thrilled, sugar knees.
Sugar knees.
I saw you ask Leroy for a job, so I decided to ask for one too.
Go home, Steve.
Wait a minute.
And so this is, I just love, this is so adorable, guys, because it's like now they're working at the same job. Steve's like, oh, I heard you working there, so I'm about to be there too. And so we're seeing right now just the all things in common, right? Where we're kind of seeing where Laura gets a job young and Steve gets a job. And why is that important? Because you got kids now, they don't, let alone work. They don't want to do chores around the house. And you got these two right here that want to go and work and make paper,
A peck near the lip area would speed me on my way.
So with a left hook.
Right.
I love it when she gets physical.
Yeah. Steve, you got to keep it that physical until you get married and have the other physical. But this will do right now. Yeah, we know. We know, Steve. We know.
Step 1, ID bracelet. Step 2, proposal.
Proposal, yeah.
Step 3, wedding.
Wedding, yep.
Step 4, wedding night.
Wedding night. Wedding night.
Tell me what he's doing today. Oh, my. What is Steve Urkel doing today? Steve Urkel is working for Bill Gates. And no, I don't know. He's inventing something somewhere. I will say that. And he probably has a picture of Laura on his desk.
I know, and he's a terrific guy. But I think he's a little disappointed in me.
Well, why?
Well, you see, he's a brain surgeon, and he really wants me to be one, too. I mean, it's an okay job, but hey, where's the challenge?
Where's the challenge? Steve's smarter than that. Where is the challenge of being a brain surgeon? Come on. Yeah.
Well, Steve, what do you want to do?
I don't know yet. I'm interested in a lot of things. But I know if you were my dad, you'd give me time to make my own decision.
So like we're looking at some of these things where Steve is, laying the pathway, for a future with, Laura. And we saw here what Jalil said about, that Steve will be working for Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that's not far off from, what I had imagined. I'm gonna get into it though. Let's.
Which leaves the door wide open for yours truly being 98% brain and 2% brawn.
Steve.
Oh, Laura, my love, we're gonna be so happy together. Wanna go pick out our China pattern?
Yeah. Steve be on the eager. Look, why wait? Why waste time? Okay, we're just getting older. Which really, they probably do need to get older though.
It's true I want a guy with something upstairs, but I also want a well-built staircase.
Oh.
Oh, no problem, Mo. I'll just begin a rigorous training schedule. Why, a few sessions on the Muscle Master, and you'll be drooling over my deltoids.
Exactly.
A robot. I've entered the National Robotics contest. I'm on the verge of creating artificial intelligence. It's a discovery that will change the world.
Remember what Jalil said? You know, we got to put everything in what, you know, Jalil said. He said that he thinks Steve will be working for Bill Gates. So I said, I wonder if he'd be in the tech world with the cars. You know what I'm saying? You see how they have, you know, electric cars now, and in the midst of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Of, you know, the electric cars and things like that.
Well, Steve, if you want that computer, could I maybe borrow it sometime?
Oh, pshaw.
Pasha.
I already have a computer. I gotta use it. If I win the computer, you can just have the silly old thing.
And you know he's probably going to win. Come on now.
Thank you.
You know he's probably, oh. Body, come on, Steve.
I better get back to the lab.
That poor baby. Too much woman for him right now. As we said, but Laura's too much woman for him right now. Steve, just stay on your studies and your science. Just stay there.
I'm together now.
Okay, good.
I'll be leaving.
Oh, he's moonwalking on her.
He's out of control. Steve, help me. He's after me. I don't know what to do. Stand back. I'm gonna break the door down.
He's gonna break that up. I'm gonna break the door down. Laura's still out there lonely. Come on, Steve.
Face it, you're mine.
Let go of me.
There he goes. There he goes. It just took him a second.
Did I do that?
Is that the only time where he says that in a positive way? Did I do that? I wonder if it's the only time that he says it positive. Otherwise, he breaking stuff.
Fantastic. No more Mr. Matchbox.
Steve, watch out.
Steve got it.
I want you to turn this thing into a go-kart.
I love when Laura said, I want you to turn this thing into a go-kart. Look at Steve's creation, though. This is just insane. I've never seen a robot to this very day like this.
But all he needs is a little reprogramming. I'll make a few minor adjustments to his personality circuits.
But he was a monster.
So one person sharpens another. In other words, family, there are no neutral relationships, no casual relationships. They either push us forward or pull us backward. They push us into purpose or push us into pain. They bring us joy or they bring us sorrow. People are sent from God or sent by the devil. Who comes into our life, we must also ask ourselves, who sent them?
Urkelbot was a machine with feelings. He fell hopelessly in love with you. So let's be honest. The only thing he was really guilty of was having good taste.
He's smooth there, huh, Laura? He's smooth there, huh?
That's sweet, Steve.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm a sweet kind of guy, Laura. And it's my fondest dream that someday you'll realize that. And marriage. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll build a claret house on the banks of the Susquehanna River. And we'll have 3.2 children and 1.7 cars. And a kitty and a dog. Ooh, and you'll make me lunch every day.
But you know what? We got to give props. I love men that make plans. You know what I'm saying? He's making plans for his future. With, you know, and he know that that's his future. So I love that he's doing this.
And I'll barbecue every night. And on cold nights,
Lord's
I'll
not.
wear bunny slippers and listen to accordion albums. Oh, gosh, I gotta write this stuff down.
Steve got plans. He got plans.
Well, what's the matter?
My father has forbidden me from doing any further scientific experiments. Why, that's like telling the fat boys to skip the second helping.
Oh, gosh. Goodness.
Just calm down and tell us what happened.
First of all, like, so we're looking at this because we're looking at all the different inventions. Now, you saw Mr. Jalil there say that he thinks Steve Urkel will be working for Bill Gates. You know, just getting into the mind of the Earthman. You know what I'm saying? I love how attentive Laura's being right now.
I was working on a project I hoped to sell to the military. High explosives cleverly disguised to look like food.
Sounds like a winner.
Oh, it is. Why, you could wipe out a platoon with a single meatloaf.
Interesting. Give it to Steve. Yeah. Give it to Steve. Look at his handles. Ooh. And so why we're looking at this here, let's pause it. Why we're looking at this here is because clearly, Steve, as we know, he loves basketball and sports. He's, the tech in the, as far as in sports, it's amazing now. I'm wondering if Steve would be maybe involved in something like that, where it involves him loving his sport and he still gets to work on his science and technology and work all his skills. You know what I'm saying? Just a thought. Alley-oop! Ooh, step back. Winning!
How was career day?
Pretty good, Mom. My guidance counselor says my grades are good enough to get into Harvard Law School.
That's my girl.
Just looking at it, Laura talking about going to Harvard Law School, you know what I'm saying? Because she wanted to be so we just seeing bankroll, okay, when it comes to Steve and Laura. It's just a bankroll.
Save a lot if I got a scholarship.
Well, why are you wasting your time eating? Go study. Laura Winslow.
Laura look like she about business, huh? Business.
Carl Winslow, of all the legal chicanery, why, you're using the woman I love in a shameless attempt to unnerve me. Nice strategy.
Go to the staff.
Allow me.
She wants to be a lawyer, so you know what I'm saying? She putting that early work in, you know what I'm saying? Mother Winslow. Look at Mother Winslow flirting. Look at Mother Winslow flirting on her little flittity flirt.
Miss Winslow, you were present in the room when the bug...
Objection. My bud had a name, Your Honor.
Stand.
Look at Lord.
You were present when the bug Pablo to attack.
No, not really. And may I add, Steve is a fine young man.
Let her know, Mother Winslow. You got it. You know what I'm saying? We need our elders to let us know what's up. Yeah. Steve's loving it.
He's a police officer.
I see. And has he ever overreacted or behaved unprofessionally as a police officer?
Never.
Thank you. Your witness.
I love how sassy Lori is right now. Look at it. Got Steve. Look at Steve. It got him kind of thinking. Yeah. Look at Lori.
Don't gloat, Dreamboat. That ain't all she wrote.
She is gloating, Steve.
Oh, where are my little way of sunshine?
Waves and sun.
What do you want, Steve?
Your hand in marriage and 2.3 children.
I'm trying to. Where's the 2.3 at, Steve? Just round it to. Just round it to 3, Steve.
Called works. Come on now. So work is one of the ways I know my faith is working, and work is also one of the ways I work my faith. So I just came to tell you, even in this introduction, if you believe in for it, work on it. If you're believing for the breakthrough, work on it. If you're believing for the open door, work on it. If you're believing for the contract, work on it. Work on it. If you're believing for greater, work on it.
Your daughter has hit a benchmark in her life. I signed up for my PSATs.
Whoopee.
Hey, and if I get a high score on this test, I've got a good shot of getting a scholarship to Harvard.
Oh, Laura, honey, that's great.
For the next 2 weeks, all I'm going to do is study. No TV, no dates, no friends, no fun whatsoever.
Man, you know what's so awesome about this is even in real life today, Harvard is a very hard school to get into. And she's, a couple steps away from being there. I keep trying to tell people, Laura is highly intelligent. She's not just beautiful, she's also intelligent.
Wow.
Matter.
Well, nothing, sweetums. It's just that you remind me a little of a movie star.
Oh?
No, not a positive one.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Why don't you lie down and catch a few Z's?
Uh-huh.
You sound like my father.
Oh?
Yeah, he said I can't go to the library until I get some sleep.
And you have some people that's like this. But why are we looking at this again? Because we're looking at what the future would be. And you see with You see what Laura's willing to go through to get to where she want to get to. You know what I'm saying?
Why, you should have told me. I nearly violated a direct big guy order.
What my father doesn't know won't hurt him. Now I have to study. Are you coming with me or not?
Negatory. I will not help you destroy your house.
Well, I'm going. And I want you to keep your mouth shut.
Uh-uh. I'm squealing, baby. And there's nothing on God's green earth that's gonna stop me.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Please, Stevie.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We just laying the groundwork of Steve and Laura, looking at, what would they look like now? But it matters on what they were before, right? That's even in our real life. Like there's a story, there is a journey that happens. And I think here you're starting to see it, looking at it with Steve right in front of us. Steve created a robot that can moonwalk. You know what I'm saying? Laura got hopes and, and dreams and a work ethic to want to go to Harvard Law School one day. So we're kind of looking at those things to see, like, what would they be doing today? But would they be doing any of this? Some of the goals that they set for themselves, would they be doing? So it's just interesting. I think in today's, culture, especially when it comes to Steve, like I said, we saw the little thing there with Jaleel where he said he'd be working for Bill Gates. You just wonder if this man can make a robot that moonwalks, you know what I'm saying? There's no telling what he would be. I think what he would be doing today, like I said, it could be anything from being in the medical side and the science side of sports, to the technology side where he's creating parts or pieces to, cars that drive on their own, or think about all the smart home stuff that we have now. We have, we really, I'm just going to say, we didn't really need to get any lazier. It had it to where you can tell your TV what to do. You can walk in, tell your lights to turn on. You even see things now, I'm noticing in alarms that you have, like house alarms, how tech, the tech that's in that now, where you can put your fingerprint in it and all this other type of stuff. We got refrigerators that talk to us. Things now that we can control with just our voice, with just a command. So, that Steve got his hand, I would think somewhere, in that, over to money making Laura. You know what I'm saying? I go with trying to make money. If you watch the whole series when she was babysitting and trying to get the cash flow. But if you look at it with Laura too, what I would look at her as, because Laura's work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Her work ethic, it makes me wonder. She wanted to be a lawyer. She went and did that. And I'm thinking with Laura, maybe she has her own law firm. Maybe she's employing other people. Because if you look at Laura, she's that type that, how do you say it? The blessing is like on her that, like, because she works so hard and she's so focused that it multiplies. Right? So it's multiplied in some type of way to where maybe she has her own law firm at this point, or, maybe she's one of the most sought out lawyers in her state, something along the lines of that. That I think that Laura would be doing, just because she money making Laura. What she wants, she gets. And she doesn't get because of the snap of the finger, because she's willing to put in the work. Right? She's willing to, like, her hair ain't been combed. She has not eaten, again, we need balance in that, but the fact that she's willing to go that far. So, that she's doing something big, maybe she has law firms kind of all over the country. Like I said, maybe she has her own, maybe she's just very, very successful, maybe like she kind of also reminds me of like a Claire Huxtable in a way too, to where maybe she works at home. Cause Laura, so for some of y'all, some of y'all would say Laura's a little old school. I call it godly. I just call it godly, to where I think she would at the same time, put her family first. So, cause Steve was talking about having kids. He been talking. That's why I put it in there. Cause the boy, like, look, you gonna give me some kids, girl. So I'm thinking they probably have, at least 1 to 4. Steve said 3. Maybe they got 2. Maybe they would compromise here where maybe just 2 kids. So I think that Laura, is that type that she would do that. I don't think, I know it's in today's society, I'm the independent woman, and yeah, she is. Like, she makes her own money. She has her own career, but she still knows how to keep her family first, right? So I think you're going to get a little bit of that with Laura, to where you get her money making skills, but then her mother skills, her wife skills, I think you may see. So who knows, what I'm saying? It's just interesting to think, like, what direction would they kind of go with this? What would they look like now? And, I'm just kind of, picking apart just some of the goals. I know with these two, what they would be doing, but I know they would not be broke. Okay. They would not be broke at all. But yeah, man, love God, love people. May God bless you. May God keep you. I'm laughing at myself.